Hi, welcome to another lesson with Dr. Hill. Today what we're going to do is we're talking about the BBC MicroBit and how to connect it up to your PC. Some of my students are having some problems with this, so I thought I would go into the ins and outs of either writing your program on a remote website using a web editor and then downloading it and transferring it to the MicroBit, or writing it on your own computer and using the in-program method of transferring directly to the MicroBit. Now this is confusing a few people, but anyway, let's talk about what the MicroBit is. It's this thing. This is the MicroBit. It's a tiny little single board computer, and it's a really quite powerful device, and there's a whole lot of interesting stuff on it, which we might get into at some other point in some future lesson. But for the moment, what I want to do is I want to talk about what this thing can do stuff, right? But it can only do stuff if you can get the program onto it to make it do things. And you also have to supply it with power in order for that thing to happen. So generally what we'll do, we'll have a quick look at this and we'll connect it up to a USB, which provides power and also provides communication with the computer that I'm working with here today. The other way to get information onto this is you can use Bluetooth. These things have a little Bluetooth receiver antenna on them. So it's really quite an extraordinary little device. So let's have a look at it running. I'll just pop us onto the board over here, and then we'll talk about how we're going to get the data onto the MicroBit. So there's the MicroBit on the on the table here, and what you can see, we'll just pop this up. We can't really focus. I haven't got this thing in autofocus. It's on static focus. But what you see on this side is the visual side of the MicroBit. What we have here is a 25 by 25, a 5 by 5 pixel screen. Now, it might seem very low resolution, but the great thing about this little screen is that it teaches all the principles of using a screen, how you program a screen, and each one of these individual pixels has an individual address. Okay, we've got a couple of buttons, and on the other side we have the workings of the thing, and this is the processor and memory, and we also have a USB controller here. We have various connections, and you can see that they're all labeled. There's a compass, there's an accelerometer, there's some pins down here for connecting the MicroBit to other things so that it can control them, because this is technically a microcontroller, but it is quite a powerful little microcontroller. So let's have a look at the two ways we can get. What we have to do is we have to get a program onto this thing in order to make it run. Now if I just plug it in, you'll see that there is a program on here. I'm not quite sure which one it is. You see at the moment it's just powered up. The orange light has come on. Just there in the corner is an orange LED, and on the other side we have a program running with a smiley face and saying hello world, I believe, which is the traditional. Now it might be a little bit difficult to catch the letters scrolling across that screen, so let's move the screen out of the way for just a second and we'll have a look at how we're going to get the program. Now there's two ways, relatively easy ways to program. We're going to use Python, the Python programming language, to program, because that's what my students are working with, and we can use an online editor, which means you go to a website and you use the online editor. Now when you edit on the website, what the first thing it's going to do is it's going to store the information that you are putting into the website somewhere on a disk drive or a data drive far away, somewhere in the it could be in India, could be in Los Angeles, could be in the Bahamas, who knows. But this data will be stored here, and it stays there until we move it to somewhere else. So we write our program, and the program gets stored in a data drive somewhere on the internet. Now, it looks like we're doing this on our own computer, of course, because it's happening on our own screen. But that we're connecting to a website somewhere, and that website has a server which runs the website, and that's the storage for the program. Now we have to give the program so that stores the information as we put it in. Now the next thing that's we have to do is we have to get that program from the computer, from the storage drive that's far, far away, to our local storage drive, because that we can connect our microbit to it. We can't connect our microbit to this thing, but we can connect our microbit to this thing. Okay, so what we do is we download. Now, coming from a remote data storage to a local data storage is known as downloading. If you go the other way, it's called uploading, right? That's uploading. Upload. Okay, but we're going to download, so this is what we're doing, and we take it down to our, so we've written our program, we've stored it on the storage far, far away, and then we download it to our local PC, the computer that we're actually working on through the screen. And then once it's there, what we have to do is we have to transfer the file that we've downloaded to the MicroBit storage. Okay, now this is known as flashing. So we flash the MicroBit storage. What we do is we basically rewrite all the memory for the MicroBit. It doesn't take very long because the memory isn't very big. Now I can show you where, it's difficult to show you these things, but if you look inside a computer you can see your disk drives and things. But I can show you the one that's here, because on the BBC MicroBit it's this thing. The processor and the memory are combined in this one little chip here. So, and this wire here that's coming out of the microbit is connected to a USB port on my computer, on my PC, and so the flash information comes and gets stored in there. All right, and then finally, what happens is the microbit starts running a loop. Now it may just run a loop and stuff will happen like this. This program is running on a loop, so there's no further interaction needed with the microbit. On the other hand, I could have had a program that's waiting for a button to be pressed. Now this doesn't do anything when I press the buttons, but these buttons can be used to interact with the microbit. Okay, so anyway, the program then runs. So that's a run, and then stuff happens in the microbit. Okay, now there's the other way of doing this, and I'll take you through the process in just a second. Actually, let's look at this. So I'm going to we've got this program running at the moment. It's a little bit difficult to get the wire to sit flat, and it says hello world. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite that program. So let's go over to the screen and have a look at the screen. And here it is. So if we look at this screen, you'll see that oh, that's Mu. So what we want is the online editor. So this is the online editor, and it's the program that we've got on the microbit at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the message to hello. Let's see. Let's change the message to something else. So now I'm writing my program on a web browser. As I put data into this, it's being stored in the remote storage device, far, far away, somewhere on the internet. And so we're going to say Westry rules OK. Okay, and then I'm going to, and there's my program. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to download that. So it automatically saves, and I'm going to download it. And it wants me to download multiple files. I'm going to allow that. And now it's saved as a program, hex program. You see down here, there's a hex program. And what all we have to do now is drop that into our microbit folder. So let's have a quick look. In my folders, I have the microbit connected. There it is. And all I have to do is take that program from my downloads. So I'm going to open my downloads. There's my microbit program. You see, it's the one that's downloaded. I'm going to move it and I'm going to drop it onto the microbit. Now, if we go back to the thing, you'll see you can catch it flashing. This is the flashing process, and it flashes, the light flashes, so flash. It's a useful thing to remember. Now we should have changed the message. Let's see. Rules. Okay, so there you go. So what I've done is I've downloaded, I changed the program on my online editor. It got stored far, far away. I downloaded it to my local PC. I found it in my downloads folder. and then I dropped it onto the MicroBit drive on my PC, which is this thing being shown on the PC, and then when I dropped it there, it automatically flashed onto the MicroBit, and the stuff happened. Okay, so let's have another look at a different process. So the next process we're going to look at is when we use an editor that is on our local computer. So it will just automatically save the data to our local PC. And it saves it there if we want to, but it can also directly flash. So you can directly flash from the interface, and that's what we're going to do next. So let's watch have another look at our screen over here. I'm going to close that. And if you use a program like Mu, which is this one, I've got a different program. It's called Goodbye Cruel World. I've already saved it. I've just written it here. You can change this message to whatever you like, and we're going to get an image of a heart instead of a happy image. And that number up there shouldn't be happening. So let's see. We're going to flash this directly to the MicroBit. I'll turn it over so that we can see the flash happening when I get it. It's rather difficult to get it to sit still, but I'm going to hit the flash button. This has already been saved. I'm going to flash it, and we're going to go across and we're going to have a look, and you can see that the MicroBit is flashing, and in a minute we will have a different program running, because what we've done is we have put we edited the program on our local PC, and we flashed directly from the program to the MicroBit storage. Now we could have saved it and flashed and dropped it on the MicroBit disk drive, but anyway, it'll run, and here we go, and it should say Goodbye Cruel World, and then we should have a heart image coming up, and we should see that Goodbye Cruel World. There it is. There's the message, and there's the heart. All right, so I hope that clears up the whole business of trying to get data onto your MicroBit using either an online program or a local program. Remember, the online program stores things on a storage bank far, far away, and we have to download it to our local PC first and then drop it onto the MicroBit by flashing it. And we can just drop it onto the disk drive and it flashes automatically. The disk drive that says MicroBit. Otherwise, we can use a local program, and we can flash directly from the program once we've saved it. So those are the two ways to get the data and the program onto the MicroBit. And in our next lessons, we're going to move on to looking at different programs that we can use and how the programs work. All right. So thanks for listening. I hope that helped some people. And what we're going to do next time is get on with some programming.